Dad.
Hello, Cindy. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Guess we got for supper.
Oh, what do you got there?
Something special that everybody loves in my family. And you all have the recipe. We're having spaghetti.
Yes, I have been jonesing
and
for your spaghetti.
Some non-Portuguese bread.
So French bread then?
An Italian vermicelli. Because it is so thin, it takes go down much better. And we have the sauce.
Excellent. We're making it from scratch. None of that jar stuff.
Yep. Got more sauce. And paste. Sauce and paste will go together.
Yes.
And we got 3 pounds of hamburger, which will just... Did you put the hamburger ready?
I did. I got the hamburger ready.
Okay, that's good. Oh, Cindy, I know you know how to make the Santos spaghetti.
Yeah.
Let's tell everybody else what goes in it.
Sure. We're going to start off with some tomato sauce and tomato paste, and you have to get the right ratio together. You want to say what the ratio is?
2 to 1.
2 to 1. And then what we do is after we pour the sauce and the pastes all into the pot, then we fill up half of each of the cans with beef stock. That not only gives it flavor, but helps to rinse out the cans and helps to liquefy a little bit of the paste. Love the smoked tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you learn about this recipe, Dad? Who taught it to you?
Oh, it goes all the way back to an ex-wife I used to have. And I use it exactly, put it all down, pass it on to the kids, and everybody knows it. And it still comes out the same way. I haven't changed it in 30 years.
You taught me how to make it when I was, I don't know, 12. So, this is a great pot of spaghetti. I don't know how the restaurants can't get it as good as yours.
You just don't know. So my daughter says she knows what goes in my spaghetti, and I've taught her way, way back, and I want to see if she still remembers. So what goes in this?
Okay, will there be a test later?
Absolutely.
Okay, taste test later. So the big 3 are parsley, oregano, and sweet basil, and we use about 3 to 4 tablespoons of each of these items. These are going to make it taste really good. We've got granulated garlic and granulated onion. Do not use garlic salt or onion salt. You can really make the sauce too salty, and you can really control the flavor of the garlic and the onion better with these 2 ingredients. We've got black pepper, and then these 3 is what's going to make it dance in your mouth. We've got apple cider vinegar. Definitely use apple cider, not white vinegar. This is going to add a really yummy tang to it. And then you got sugar and chili powder, a little sweet with heat. And so the 3 of these just really dance in your mouth. If for some reason you're not getting enough beef flavor from the beef stock and from the ground chuck that you put into it, you could put a few cubes of beef bouillon, and then at the very end, if it needs it, put in a dash or 2 of this MSG. Now it can be salty, so use with care and do a little at a time. Any of these ingredients, once you put them all in, it's all to taste. So if you feel like, oh, it's missing a little something, something, and we often do, we taste it and see how it's coming along. As needed, as your taste buds enjoy. Did I do okay?
Yep. As we had said earlier, we've already told you how much of each, but the real thing is, this is how much we do. We say a little of this. Okay, then we put in our basil. As said, maybe 2, 3, 4 tablespoons, just what it feels like. And oregano. And what we want to do right now is mix it. Mix the flaky stuff first. Get them going. So we have the granulated garlic. And if it sounds like it's from Massachusetts, is it because I am?
A granulated garlic, right?
And then the granulated onion. Also, the granulated, they have onion powder, onion, and garlic powder, not the same. Granulated just gives more flavor. Cindy will take over from this half.
Oh, you want me to do the pepper, huh?
Include the hot stuff.
The hot stuff, I know. I love pepper. Have to remember other people don't necessarily like it as much as I do. I'm going to go with the sugar next. And the thing with any of these ingredients, do a little at a time. You can always build and add more as you need, especially when it comes to chili powder. So we're going to put a little bit in there. And we can always add more later if we need to. And I'm going to put a little bit of the apple cider. Like I said, just a little bit at a time. You can always add more. You cannot subtract. It's tough to subtract. And so we'll just stir that up. Okay. So got it all stirred in there. Guess I'll go put it on the heat now.
And the bouillon cubes will be added later as needed, because the heat, once it's boiling or simmering, the cubes will break down. The flavor will be coming out real quick.
Yeah, they'll only dissolve in heat, right?
Right.
All right, cool. What's your opinion on gas stoves, Dad?
Love gas stoves. My daughter said she would never have a gas stove. So if she didn't want this, I would take it from her.
So, you want me to go get the ground chuck?
Yeah, once you get that ground chuck, we know how good it is, so
Yeah.
get that.
Okay.
And I'll take care of the onions.
Excellent. How many you want to start with? 2 pounds, maybe?
A couple pounds is good.
Okay.
Now on this onion, my mother used to always say, don't peel it real thin, because once you cook that up, it'll be chewy. So onions are so reasonable. She used to say, just get a good cut out of it. Get a little peel out of it.
I just handled raw meat, putting it in that pan, so I want to make sure I clean my hands really well with hot water. Yeah, again, I washed it before and then I washed them after. Wash your hands a lot. So you just want to break up the beef, just because you want to get it into that crumbly texture. And then, I don't know about you, Dad, but I like to put garlic, onion, and pepper.
Sounds good.
Yep. Everything's better with garlic in it. So I'm just going to season.
Keeps the vampires away. And everybody else.
And everybody else. As long as everybody's having garlic, then you can defend yourself, though.
Absolutely.
So that's good. And pepper. I love pepper. A little bit right there. And then we need to chop up some onions. Love onions. Any fingers?
One, two, three, they're all there.
No,
Put
excellent.
those onions in.
Sure. Can I use your knife?
Sure.
Thanks. So you know your meat is done when it's all brown, you don't see any pink, and the onions are a little translucent. That's when you know it's done. But you see there's a little bit of grease in there, and we don't want that. We need to be a little healthier than just dumping that right into our sauce, so we need to drain it. So you don't want to drain your meat into your sink. The grease is awful for your drainage system. You want to drain it. I personally like to put it over on top of a paper plate, because then when the grease solidifies, then you can just throw it away, and it doesn't have to go down into your pipes at all. So I just kind of push the meat down a little bit to kind of squeeze a lot of the excess grease out. Okay, so once you feel that all the grease has drained out, you can even use the lid that you had to make sure you don't drip grease everywhere. So now we're going to put the ground chuck and onions into the sauce. Stir that in. And this will help to obviously flavor the sauce and thicken it up, because we like a thick sauce. So we'll just let the meat simmer in there for a little bit, let its flavors mingle in with all the other ingredients that we put in there, and then we'll do a little taste test and see if it needs a little more of this or a little more of that. So my water's come to a boil. It already has oil in it and some sea salt for flavor. And what I like to do, trick my daddy taught me, is break the noodles in half. This is vermicelli. We like the vermicelli. Sometimes people call it thin spaghetti, but we like the vermicelli because it's less doughy. But we like to break it in half and then do a little spin move, and that helps to keep the noodles from sticking together once it hits the water, because sometimes we have a tendency to do that. So after we put all the noodles in, we do the little spin move, stir it right away. Make sure you're separating any of the noodles, because every noodle cooks a different duration. This is 5 to 7 minutes. So I do like to set my timer to 5 because I like my pasta al dente. I cannot stand a soggy noodle. So I'll set it to 5 and I'll test it. Okay, so I got a stick of butter. I'm gonna pop it in the microwave to melt it. I'll start off at 30 seconds. Okay, so I got a really nice fresh French bread at the store. I'm gonna split it lengthwise. That smells really good. So I've got my butter that I put in the microwave for 30 seconds. It's all melty. And this will be basically garlic bread that will keep the vampires away, because I'm going to put in some granulated garlic. I know. Those Twilight movies got nothing on this. And then this product called Garlic Garni, which is a product of Gilroy, California. And this has got like really yummy flavors in it. And I like to put cheese in it. And I'm very generous with my cheese. So I just mix that up. I'm gonna kind of pour it, spoon it, spread it over the bread. And I am quite generous with the amount of butter and stuff we put on the bread. Make sure it gets all the way to the edges. Nothing's worse than getting a dry piece of bread.
Good.
What I like to do before I put it into the oven, I like to pre-cut them about 3/4 of the way. And what that helps is that when they're piping hot and you're trying to grab a piece, it's very hard to cut the bread when it's still not par cut almost all the way through. Then you just kind of tear a piece when it's hot. This will help to protect your fingers later. And then what we're going to do is set the oven to broil, and you got to keep an eye on it, because when you're broiling you could burn something really quick. So put it on broil, not too close to the top of the heat element, and you'll have nice lightly toasted garlic bread.
This will be done after the spaghetti's ready, after the pasta's done. Then we cook that up.
Yeah. So it's nice piping hot right when everything's coming together. Well, nothing complements a yummy spaghetti dinner than a great green salad. In our family, we like to at least have the base, and we already like the pre-chopped base, but we like to have the base, and then we kind of do it like a salad bar. So we do our fixins that we like on the side in little bowls, and you can do whatever you want. I'll start off with a cucumber. I've already washed all my veggies. I like to make my cucumber look kind of pretty, so this is what I like to do. I take the cucumber and I kind of peel it in stripes like this. Doesn't have to be super perfect, but then what I do is I have this little crinkle cutter, and I will cut that off, cut off the ends. So now I've got the little stripes, and then I crinkle cut it. So it looks pretty. It's nice for presentation. And it's always good to try one just to make sure it tastes good. So I'm going to cut up some celery. You can cut up your celery any way you want. You can kind of just do the regular slices. But sometimes I like to do my celery outside the box. And I personally, after I chop off the tops and the bottoms, like to do a little like diagonal like this.
Let me just show you a way I would do it to save you some time. You
Sure.
get all the celery, and you put them all together at an angle like this. You're going to get what you've been getting is pretty shape.
Ah, look at that.
All the time you're going to save.
It does save time.
Comes out just what you're looking for.
That's why you're the dad.
Yeah, and that's why I have a glove on. There we go. Couldn't stay away.
It's okay.
I'll stir the sauce.
Excellent. I find that using Roma tomatoes is better for a salad than like the big beefsteak tomatoes because they're less juicy and they're more meaty. And nothing's worse than getting your salad all soggy with tomato guts. So anyway, and I like to use a serrated knife on tomatoes. It cuts through the skin easier than a straight knife. Sometimes.
Also, didn't interrupt you, it just happens to be Blaine's favorite and he did the shopping. No, just happens.
Just happens to be. So, I mean, there's no wrong way to cut a tomato. Sometimes I just like to do little halves like that. You could dice them up. You could do whatever you want, but I personally like try to keep as much of the shape as possible on the tomatoes. Should have asked you if you had a special way.
I like it just about the same way.
Okay, cool.
Especially the aromas.
Yeah, the aromas are great because they're nice and meaty. And then one other thing that we like to put in salads are carrots. I know this has some carrots in here, but we really like our carrots in this family. So I'm just gonna do a few like this. And again, did you just say mama? Cutting up the baby carrots. Give me your children. Crumbled cheese that we can put on top. So there we go. Nice healthy salad. Well, I don't know where you live, but in our area, they like to compost organics. So that's where all this good stuff goes, back into the earth. So we've got crumbled cheese, we've got carrot slices, we've got Roma tomatoes, sliced celery, cucumbers, and of course the salad base. Now you can use any other toppings. You could do bell peppers, you can do red onions, you can do bacon bits. Ooh, bacon bits, we've got bacon bits, I should get those. And then whatever toppings you want for your salad dressings. So our sauce has been simmering here now for about a half an hour. You want to take some out and put it in a bowl to try it. You don't want to double dip because that's disgusting. But more importantly, you put it in the bowl and it can cool off a little bit in the bowl. And you try it. Sometimes you might need to add a little more garlic, might need to add a little more vinegar or some chili powder or something depending on how you like to taste things. So I'm going to turn that heat down because it's a little out of control. Don't want to burn my tongue. Got to blow on it. Oh, we've got it. I'm going to just stir these noodles a little bit. I don't know what you guys are going to eat, but I'm having this. Oh, would you like to try some?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. You know what?
So the noodles are really close to being done. I've preheated my oven on broil. So I'm going to put our bread in. Not too close to the heat element because you don't want it to burn too much. And then I often like to turn my oven light on just so I can keep an eye on it. Okay.
Do you think so? Need it done?
I think so. Let's try it.
Let me try one. I'll throw it up to the ceiling. If it sticks, it's done.
I like my ceiling just the way it is.
Good. Done. Now your special thing you do.
Yeah, my special thing. This is actually a special thing that I learned from my husband. When he was growing up, his brother actually didn't like spaghetti sauce. I don't know what's wrong with him. He obviously didn't have dad's spaghetti sauce, but he didn't like spaghetti sauce. So what his mom would do, and I'm just gonna zap this with some hot water because I don't want to lose the heat that's on the noodles right now, but I want to get a little of the starch off of the noodles. I know most people do it with cold water, but I'm just gonna zap it with some hot water a little bit in the strainer. Because I have a little bit of margarine or butter, doesn't matter which one. I'm gonna put a little in the pan, and then I'm gonna dump the noodles over it, and then I'm gonna put more on top. Okay, I'm gonna stir that in. Ooh, that is very hot.
Bread,
Handle.
bread.
Oh, yeah, bread. Let's check the bread.
Ooh,
Yeah, just the way I like it. A little crispy around the edges. Excellent. So now I'm stirring the margarine in to here. So it gets nice and melty. And what this is also going to help to do is keep your noodles from sticking together as bad by having a little bit of that butter in there, but it's going to add some nice flavor. And we like to put some garlic garni in there. And then I'm going to stir that in first, and then I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese. A little bit more. All right, got the, thank you. My royal subject. So the noodles are ready. I'm going to put a lid on it so they stay warm until we're ready to serve them. And the sauce, got to be ready. Let's stir that. And turn that heat off. So we got our salad, we got our sauce, we got our spaghetti noodles, we got our garlic bread.
Now we'll get the family together.
The family together. All right, Dad, well, looks like we're done.
Okay, let's eat.
Let's eat.
Where's the rest of the family?
Hey, family! Dinner's ready, come and get it!
I love spaghetti.
Keep going. All right. Well, some people like to mix their sauce and their noodles together at the stove. I really don't like to do that, and neither does our family, because the noodles are absorbent and they suck up the sauce, and then it's not good. But what we're gonna do is just scoop on the noodles. Excited, honey? Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, whoa. I like noodles.
Really?
Really. And then ladle the sauce. And then, Dad, when you get to the bottom of your plate and there's some sauce left, what do you do with it?
Oh, take out the bread that we made and just scrape it up. That way we don't have to do dishes.
No.
There you go. We just put them right into the cabinet.
No, we do it like this. Get it out
And eat it all up?
yes. That's what we